Hey guys, Amanda Nyberg, registered dietitian. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to optimize your protein while staying in a caloric deficit. So recently I uploaded a video about the importance of protein, and let me just summarize that video to remind you of why hitting your protein goal every single day is vital to your overall health, wellness, metabolism, and the body's ability to lose weight. Protein is one of the 4 macronutrients. It is maybe considered an essential macronutrient because we do not have adequate protein stores in our body. So it is a macronutrient that has to be consumed in adequate amounts every single day. When you don't consume adequate amounts of protein, you essentially shut down fat metabolism. I tell my lean clients, I'm like, you have 2 options. You can burn fat or find protein. The body cannot do both. So if you want your body to be in that fat burning mode at all times, the biggest thing that you can do is to provide it with adequate protein. Because if you underconsume protein, that fat metabolism pathway is shut down, and your body is focused on finding available protein sources. And our available protein sources are tied to our metabolism, and that is with our muscle and tissue. So again, when it comes down to, you can be concerned about weight loss or you can be concerned about fat loss. If you're only concerned about weight loss, you don't care where the weight comes from. If you're concerned about fat loss, you do, and you should be, because losing weight in the form of muscle and tissue lowers your overall metabolic rate, makes it so much harder to reach your end goal, and makes it twice as likely for you to gain it all back. So protein is so important. We also learned in that other video, once you understand your protein goal, that there is only so much protein your body can absorb in one sitting. That is really based on your needs. So if you are, a 6'5" male who weighs 300 pounds, your protein needs are probably 200 to 300 grams. Your ability to optimize 60, 70, 80 grams of protein in one sitting is pretty typical. If you are a petite woman who's 5 feet tall and weighs 110 pounds, your protein needs are 100 grams. Your ability to optimize 50, 60, 70 grams of protein in one meal is impossible. So understanding what your protein goal is, then dividing it by 3 gives you a good idea of what that per protein per meal goal should be. I'll use myself an example. I need a minimum of 120 grams of protein a day. I aim for 40, 40, 40. So 40 is kind of my sweet spot. I'm aim for anywhere between 30 to 50 grams of protein at each meal. Now, obviously protein is so important, but the other thing that is extremely important for weight loss is eating in a caloric deficit. And I can't tell you how many people reach out to me and say, hey, Amanda, I get it. I know I need more protein, but as I'm increasing my protein, I'm going over my calories. So whenever I eat more protein, I eat more calories. And so today I'm going to talk about why that is and how to avoid it. And at the end of the day, it is not a protein issue. It is a fat issue. Okay. So in the last video, I talked about you have 3 categories of proteins. You have protein, low fat, low calorie options, say like a lean chicken breast, low fat cottage cheese. You have a high protein, high fat, high calorie protein option, which would be maybe like 80-20 ground beef, sausage, bacon, peanuts. And then you have a moderate protein, high carb, moderate calorie option. And those would be more of like your vegan proteins like legumes and beans and chickpeas and things like that. So the biggest reason why you find yourself going over your calories when you're trying to hit your protein goal is because you're choosing proteins with a lot of fat. Okay, so today I'm going to teach you a little technique to help you to identify which foods are going to be good to help you optimize your protein goal while staying in a caloric deficit. Okay, so let's get into it. So I have this very simple trick that you can use when reading a food label. Okay, and I'm going to start out by sharing this cottage cheese. And I know it may be hard for you to read the food label, but I'm going to give you all the details. So basically, in this cottage cheese, you get 80 calories per serving. You get 14 grams of protein, okay? So the way that you're going to look to see is, am I going to be able to optimize my protein while staying in a caloric deficit with cottage cheese? Is you're going to take the grams of protein, which is 14. You're going to add a 0, all right? So that turns from 14 to 140. And you're going to compare that to the calories. You want that new number with an added 0 to be close to or over your calorie goal. So in this case, our protein number is 140, 14 grams, we added a 0, 140, and our calories are 80. All right, so this is a great option to optimize your protein while staying in a caloric deficit. 140 versus 80 is a great ratio, okay? So let me show you another example. All right, so here is kind of like a protein bar. It's listing, 10 grams of protein. So you may be thinking, oh, well, this is a great snack. This is a good source of protein. Well, yes, it's good that this has 10 grams of protein. But when you look at the protein to calorie ratio, you have to be careful, okay? So this has 10 grams of protein. So we're going to take 10, we're going to turn it into 100 because we're going to add a 0. Compare that to the calories of 210, okay? So the calories are 210, the protein is 10. So 100 versus 210 means that it's going to be hard to optimize your protein while staying in a caloric deficit with this option, all right? Let me break it down to you a little bit further, okay? So again, back to that per protein goal per meal, all right? So again, I want 40 grams of protein 3 times a day, 30 grams of protein 4 times a day, all right? So let's say that I wanted to utilize this as a snack, okay? So I typically will do 3 meals, 1 snack. If I wanted to utilize this as a snack, in order for me to get 30 grams of protein, I'm going to have to eat 3 of them. And that's going to cost me almost 700 calories. So in order for me to get 30 grams of protein from this item, it's going to cost me 700 calories. All right. Now I'm trying to eat in a caloric deficit. Whereas if I eat this, which is 14 grams of protein for 80 calories, I can get almost 30 grams of protein for 160 calories. You see the difference? 700 calories for 30 grams of protein, 160 calories for 30 grams of protein. All right? I'm going to continue to give you some more examples, okay? So I've got some canned chicken. Again, just grabbing things with easy labels on it. And so this one can has 90 calories and each can has 18 grams of protein. I'm going to add a 0, 180. 180 to 90 is a great ratio, okay? So again, when I think about so basically you can look at this as I could almost get 40 grams of protein, okay? Almost 40 grams of protein for 200 calories right here. 40 grams of protein, 200 calories. 30 grams of protein, 700 calories. You seeing what I'm saying? Huh? So again, when you're trying to optimize your protein, if you continue to go over your calories, it's the sources in which you're using, okay? Here's another example. Eggs, okay? Eggs. Eggs are a great source of protein. I love eggs. I love whole eggs. They're good for you. Eggs do not impact your total cholesterol. Eggs are a superfood. We should be incorporating eggs. Now, when we look at the nutrition label of eggs, and again, this is something else that you want to kind of consider. So it has 70 calories for 6 grams of protein, okay? So 6, you add a 0, that's 60 versus 70, which is not bad, okay? That's a pretty good ratio. Remember, you want the protein with the 0 to be close to, doesn't have to be right at, but close to or over, okay? So at the end of the day, this is a good choice, okay? But I want you to realize that in order to get 30 grams of protein from eggs, it's going to cost you, I did the math, 420 calories, okay? Because you need about 5 eggs to get 30 grams of protein versus egg whites. Now, I don't have a container. I'm out, but I did the math. So in order to get 30 grams of protein from egg whites, it's only going to cost you 160 calories. All right, because when you remove the yolk has the majority of the fat in it, whereas the white has the majority of the protein in it. You're able to optimize your protein with less calories. So anytime I'm making like an omelet or egg salad or anything that involves eggs, I like to use like a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm going to use 2 parts egg whites to 1 part egg, so I might use 1 or 2 eggs with a half a cup to a cup of egg whites. Again, in order to cut the overall caloric intake back. Are you with me? Are you with me? Okay, let me give you one more example. This is a big one, okay? Peanut butter. So, everyone loves to say peanut butter is a great source of protein, okay? And what you have to realize is that peanut butter is a great source of fat, okay? Yes, it has protein, but it's a great source of fat. So for 7 grams of protein, it's going to cost you 190 calories. So again, in order to get 30 grams of protein from peanut butter, it's going to cost you almost 800 calories. So comparison, 160 calories for 30 grams, 800 calories for 30 grams of protein. So if you continue to go over your caloric deficit because you're trying to hit your protein goal, it's because you're choosing proteins that are higher in fat. So instead of 80-20 beef, do the 90-10, do the 92-8, instead of dark meat, dark chicken meat, do the chicken breast. Instead of like when you're choosing like ground chicken, ground lean turkey, or ground turkey, ground chicken, choose the leanest one, okay? Because at the end of the day, when they take out the fat, you ultimately also get more protein. So hopefully that was helpful, especially for those that are of you that are looking to optimize your protein while staying in a caloric deficit. Use this little zero trick to help look at things like protein bars and just to kind of have a better understanding. I think also just putting it in perspective of that 30 grams of protein, like how many calories is it going to cost me to get 30 grams of protein from this item, and recognizing, do I have the calories for that or do I not, will help you to optimize your calories and optimize your protein for long-term success. If you found this information helpful, share it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with your friends and family. Let me know in the comment section below what you want to learn more about, and I'll be happy to address it. Thanks, guys.